Not live yet. Spin her out. I gotta get some water. I'm gonna read my reply to this doctor that I'm recently following on Facebook. Let me get some water here. I'm gonna be demonized because I'm coughing. I guarantee you I'm going to be demonized because I'm coughing. It's because I'm eating something that I typically don't eat. I typically don't eat processed foods. Anything that comes in a bag or anything like that. Pre-made, like Doritos. I'm not eating Doritos, but anything like that. I typically don't eat. I lost 80 pounds. So, it took me like 16 months to lose 80 pounds. And then Christmas last year came and I just threw out all the vegetables and all the fruit. I threw all that out and I just started adding in gluten here and sugar, a little bit of sugar here, a little bit of gluten there. And I gained like 15 pounds back of the 80 that I lost. And then March 2020 hit, the government overreach and lockdown and masks and everything, and it didn't stop. And then I gained another 15 or 10 on top of the 15 that I previously added. So, I'm going to be vilified with this. I'm going to be vilified because I was coughing, and people are going to say, see, you have COVID. Just because you cough doesn't mean you have COVID. Just because you have a sore throat doesn't mean you have COVID. So I'm going to read my response to this doctor. I found him on Facebook probably about 2 weeks ago, something like that. 2 weeks ago. What is today? Okay, it's Halloween. So yeah, and I find this doctor has some pretty good discussion points. And I agree with a lot of what this guy says. I really, really do. So I have a typed response up. And when I typed it up, there's a lot of grammar errors, okay? There's a lot of misspelled words. So I'm going to be looked at like, where'd you get your education? So I'm glad that he exists. There's another guy, Dr. Katz, that I listen to, Katz. I'm just going to give you a little bit of things that I listen to. You can look at my channel. You can see that I think you can see who I subscribe to. Pam Popper is another person that I subscribe to. I actually like her better than Peggy Hall. I don't know why Pam Popper just seems a little bit less. I'm not saying Pam Popper's bad. I'm just saying that sometimes her voice is a little, but I think there's balance to this doctor. I don't know, this is ZDogg. I don't know his name, but bald, looks about mid 40-ish, maybe 50. And a lot of his talking points, I love. I really like the balance in this guy. So one of the videos that I just listened to was about, I think he came out with it this morning, Halloween this morning, the 31st of October 2020, today. Took my dog for a walk and I listened to him. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Pam Popper comes out with a video and I listen to her videos every day. I subscribed to her, the Make Americans Free Again. I subscribe to that. And I have to dig a little bit more for her videos that are censored. So I got to dig a little bit more for those ones. But there are a few people that I'm like, I'm going to listen to this because I need balance. That's what I need. I'm seeking balance. I want a lot of balance. I want a lot of science. And there's too much censorship going on in the world today, particularly in the left-leaning media. And that's why I left the Democrats, because of the censorship. So I wish there were more people like this doctor that I'm I'm going to read this, and I'm probably going to, we're at 5 minutes now, so it's probably going to be a 20-minute video, maybe a 30-minute video. So I'm going to comment, I'm going to pause, I'm going to comment on a few of these things, and we'll see how long it goes. It says, I listen to many of your podcasts and videos, which I do. You are a balance to the community. I listen to your videos about the moral matrix, okay? So they are liberty versus oppression, sanctity versus degradation, fairness versus cheating, loyalty versus betrayal, care versus harm, and authority versus subversion. Okay, well, it's interesting with COVID, it changed my ranking of these things because back in, I'm going to say like 2006, 2005, my top ranking was fairness versus cheating. I wanted everything to be fair. That was my number one moral compass, you could say, was fairness versus cheating. How dare this happen to me? Look at all the other people that did blah, 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 but I got caught or I got whatever, but all those other people did the same thing and they didn't get in trouble. They, fairness versus cheating back in 2006, 2005, when I was in my early 30s was a very big thing. And then I learned the world's not fair. The world's just not fair. It's never going to be fair. It's fucked up. So my fairness went down on the scale, but I was never really high on liberty versus oppression. I am now. Because of COVID and the government overreach, I am liberty versus oppression, I think, is probably number one on my list. And then sanctity versus degradation is number two on my list. And I might actually make sanctity versus degradation number one on my list. I actually might not make that number one. And I'm going to have to read more about these to really, truly understand so I can get some examples of stuff here. So that, I don't know when he did that video, but it's an awesome video. And I don't even know the title of it. It's on my Facebook page. And a lot of things on my Facebook page are public. I set them to public. It's Sandra Gregston. So let me get back to my response to him. I'm going to say, so you know up front, that my first moral matrix is liberty versus oppression, and 2, sanctity versus degradation. Well, I just said I might change those 2. The third one is fairness versus cheating. I still want things to be fair. I still am like Democrats, where I believe those that are rich, you pay your fair share of taxes. Don't get away with it. Not Bernie Sanders. What's his name? The rich guy? Not Bernie Sanders. Gosh, what is his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, old guy, white, he said he pays less taxes than his secretary because he owns all this property and everything in the tax loopholes. So, I'm sorry, but people aren't going to like me, but I lean with the Democrats there. You make more money, you pay your fair share of taxes. And those that are, real estate investors, they get away with it because they have passive income. There's a tax loophole to where they don't have to pay their fair share taxes if they are a real estate investor, because it's not income. It's a passive income. It's you're investing. So because you're investing, it is an investment, you don't have to pay those taxes, which is wrong. I think everybody needs to pay their fair share of taxes. So that's where the fairness and the cheating comes in with me. So let's move on. It says, you talk a lot about antibody tests and how they are not really backed by science. You made a video. It was back in March or April or May. It was one of those months. You made a video and you said, we just don't know. Okay. Let's see, antibody tests show they're not really backed by science and how they're false positives, and people can test positive for IgG antibodies when they really don't have them. Okay, my question to this doctor is, if that's true, that we can't trust the antibody tests, okay, if we can't trust them and they're a bunch of hogwash and people really don't have IgG antibodies when the test does say that you do have antibodies against COVID. I'm not talking about antibodies against the flu or the cold. I'm talking about against COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2. Okay, if it's true that I personally and the large majority of people cannot trust those FDA approved tests, because there is an FDA approved test now, according to the pharmacist at Ralph's in Marietta. He said we would not be able to test you if this was not FDA approved. He said there's no way we would be able to test you if this wasn't approved. I asked the pharmacist, is this just for COVID, or is this an antibody test against the cold, the flu, SARS-CoV-1, H1N1, all of these H3N2, all of these strains? And he said, no, it's just for COVID. That's it. Okay, I'm taking his word for it that this thing is FDA approved, and I'm taking his word for it that it's just against COVID. So if it's true that I am not to trust these antibody tests and I really don't have IgG antibodies, then what makes you think that I should trust PCR tests? And all these people are testing positive. Well, what if, I don't know, 50%? What if 30% of those that test positive really are negative? They're false positives, which I didn't even go into viral load, because guess who I used to listen to? I don't listen to her much anymore. But I'm going to say in August and in September, I was listening to a lot of Liz Wheeler. And that's how I learned about the viral load and the turning over of these tests, running it over and over. And if you do that too much, it's going to return, yes, you have COVID. Yes. And she said you only turn it over 30 times and that's it. You don't turn it over 40 or 50 times, because if you do, it's going to show a positive. But the mainstream media doesn't tell you this stuff. They censor it. That's why I like Liz Wheeler, but I don't listen to her much anymore. So let me get back to reading this. If it's true, then we cannot reasonably believe that the PCR tests have false positives of the people that test positive for SARS-CoV-2 and don't really have it. Why should I not trust? I put don't trust, but why should I not trust the science of masks on one side? I don't believe 100% in everything in the government that tells me. Okay, I worded this wrong, but basically I'm saying I don't believe everything the government tells me. I question it. I'm a skeptic. I have videos, you can go back on my YouTube from 10 years ago where I did all those videos about God and religion. And I don't know if I have one about Jesus, but I was going through a period of, am I an atheist? Am I not? Where do I fit in? I was going through this period in 2010, 11, 12. You can go through all those videos and look up where I asked those hard questions. And I became a skeptic. I questioned everything. Well, is this true? Is this true? Is this not true? I don't know, I think it's a positive thing to question everything. And what I'm saying here is I don't believe 100% in everything the government tells me. But there are people that believe everything the government tells them. It's like, well, it said the FDA says it's safe. It must be safe. No, just because they say it's safe doesn't mean it's safe. Look at Monsanto and look at the Roundup and look at the chemical in Roundup, and it's on our food. And you say it's safe just because the FDA and the USDA and the farmers get subsidies, and you believe it's safe just because they say so. Really? Okay, let me get back to reading this. And we know there is censorship in science coming forward. Doctors don't want to lose their jobs, so they don't want to come forward with the science. Let me pause there. Look what happened to those two doctors out of Bakersfield, and they came forward. When was that? In April? Wonderful press conference. Those two doctors, I can't remember their names, but they were ER doctors, I believe ER doctors, but they were out of Bakersfield. And I remember one line, IgG, IgM antibodies, that some reporter stopped them and they were like, whoa, what's that? And he was like, IgG, IgM antibodies. There's also IgA antibodies too. There's T cells, but I heard through Dr. Z, we can't really test T cells. We can't really test that. We don't have the science yet, but I bet you we're going to have it because science is moving forward so fast. We're going to have stuff that comes out of nowhere. But these doctors came forward talking about IgG and IgM antibodies, and they were shut down. The left doesn't want you to know things. They want you to trust them. They don't want you to trust your fellow man. They don't want you to trust your God. And I'm not saying Jesus, okay? I'm not a Jesus freak. All this, trust Jesus and you're going to go to hell. No. I'm talking about your God that you choose, whatever God that is, the universe, whatever, Allah, whatever, you're a Muslim, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me. Even if you're an atheist, you're going to trust science. You're going to trust the evidence, and that's your God. That is your power. That is your thing. Okay. And they do the meditation thing. So they say God's not out there. It's something inside. Like happiness is like on us. It's not up to that God to make us happy or to make us whatever. It's up to us. So that's pretty cool with the atheists. I like that. But science is being shut down. The left only wants you to see one side. Masks work. And I agree with this doctor. I don't believe 100% like the anti-maskers, right? Which I would kind of put myself in at anti-maskers, you'll see. But I don't believe 100% the anti-maskers. They say masks don't work. But they don't say what they mean by that. What do you mean when you say masks don't work? What do you mean? And then the other side says masks do work, but they're not saying what they mean. Okay, they need to say what they mean. And what I think what they mean is that anti-maskers, the ones that don't wear a mask and they go free, which I would put myself in, especially in September. I was going around with nothing on. They say they're claiming masks don't protect you from the virus. You still get the virus. You still get it. And the problem with the left-leaning media and the problem with the Democrats is they're claiming that masks do work, but their wording is wrong. And they are self-crucifying themselves. This is the problem with the Democrats. They don't know how to talk. If they would have clear language, Fauci, all those other people, Richard Redfield, the CDC head, if they talked better and chose their words better, then I have a feeling a lot less people would be crucifying them, because the Democrats are really crucifying themselves because they don't know how to talk. They're saying masks work. No, what you need to say is they give you less of the virus. You still get it. Okay, you're still going to get it. Everybody's going to get it. That's my belief. Everybody on the planet is going to get it. But there's people that fear it because they're over 70. Or, maybe they have a large family and, maybe they just can't socially distance. They can't physically distance. And they have 10 people in their house and 2 people came home with it and they infected everybody. And for whatever reason, they're obese, whatever, there are people that are very, very afraid of it. And if you watch the news, the left-leaning news, you watch NBC, CNN, all that, you're going to be scared because it is the media's job to instill fear, people. It is the media's job to make people afraid. Bad news spreads fast. Bad news spreads very, very fast. They want people to be afraid. You can't control a nation of people that are not living in fear. You cannot control a nation of critical thinkers. You can't. That's why I like this doctor, because he's so full of balance. It's amazing. I wish more people were like him, but we don't. We have the anti-maskers say masks don't work, masks don't work. And then we got the Democrats that are crucifying them saying the masks do work, masks do work. And they don't know how to talk. Why don't we just say masks lower your symptoms, but you're still going to get it. You're still going to get it. And what I have a problem with, and I'm still commentating, I need to go back and reading this. I'm still doing commentary. If you get it, you want it with no symptoms. But before COVID, this is the problem that I have. Now the medical community and Fauci, stupid, idiotic, stupid, dumb MF Fauci and stupid Richard Redfield, now we are making out like perfectly healthy people are sick. Doctors do not treat people that have no symptoms. They only treat people that have symptoms. And the fucking government wants you to go get COVID tested if you have no symptoms. Excuse the F me. Where is this country going? Okay, so let me get back to reading this. There are reports that masks do not slow the spread. I believe, like you, that masks give people less symptoms. I believe that we are way too far down the line now. I believe that 40 to 50% of the population in USA has already been infected with SARS-CoV-2. So why don't we make it a law to make 60% of the population get an antibody test? Why don't we do that? If there's an FDA-approved antibody test, and it's at Ralph's, if that's FDA approved, then I'm sure the FDA, if it's true, if it's FDA approved, then I'm sure the FDA can release this to other pharmacies in the country. So let's hit the big cities: Miami, Charlotte, Alexandria, New York City, Colorado, Denver, Seattle, LA, San Diego, Phoenix, Tucson, Las Cruces. We can do Houston, Austin, Houston, Austin, and maybe El Paso. You know, let's do all the big cities and randomly just make 60% of the people get an antibody test. But you got to test old people too. You got to test the obese people too. You got to test Hispanic people too. You got to test white people, black people. You got to do the whole entire thing. You can't just say, well, we're only going to test 80 people or people 80 and above. You can't just say we're only going to test those that are 50 and above. No, it has to be everybody. Everybody. You know, why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we forcing those 60% of people to get an antibody test? Well, we don't know how much, people are going to say, well, we don't know how long antibody tests last. We don't know how long the antibodies last. Retest them. Retest them every month. We're spending all this money on PCR tests. Yeah, I think it's, I'm going to have to make a note. PCR tests. I think it's funny. I'm gonna have to make a note and comment on that later because I don't want to get off of reading this. So I believe that at least 40 to 50% of the population in the USA has already been infected with SARS-CoV-2. So why don't we make it a law? 60% of the people get an antibody test. Why can't we have that? Why can't we paint an eye on the forehead of everyone that's immune? And I already said this. We don't know how long immunity lasts. So retest people for antibodies and do not make them wear a mask if they are immune. Okay, let me go on. Look, I know people in my church that claim they got infected from SARS-CoV-2 in November and December 2019. And they couldn't breathe. It was bad for them. And they believe they got it and they never got tested because there was no test back in November and December 2019. There was nothing. I can guarantee you there are many, 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 many people. I've talked to many people that said, I think I had it in February. I think I had it in January 2020. I think I had it in early March 2020, like March 5th. I think I had it in December 2019. There are many people that have told me, I think I had it. It was horrible. I've never felt like this. Okay. So if that's true, then a lot of people are already immune and they're wearing a mask. and they're immune? Really? Okay, so they have a period of immunity. Let me make this clear. I'm not claiming they have immunity for life. I think a lot of people are attacking me, thinking that I'm stupid and dumb, thinking that I believe that people are immune for life. I do not believe I'm immune for life. I'm saying I have a period of immunity, and I asked my doctor, and she said the model suggests 6 to 9 months of immunity. So let me go back to reading this. They should not have to wear a mask. So if you're immune, shouldn't have to wear a mask. Let people choose to wear one if they are over 65. We mask people up that have no symptoms, and they never have symptoms. So we make people wear masks and they never have symptoms. So the damn mask, this is really important. This is what the anti-maskers are going to say. So the damn mask never goes away, since we are just masking up just in case everyone happens to have symptoms at any time. I can guarantee you there's people out there that never had symptoms, ever. I guarantee you there are people out there that believe the only ones that are really infecting others are those with symptoms. Excuse me, and yet you an MD, I'm talking to this Dr. Z, excuse me, yet you're an MD, you do not treat people with no symptoms. You don't treat people with no symptoms. Doctors don't do that. Doctors here give medications to people that have symptoms. That's it. We wait until people are sick and then we do something about it instead of preventive care, instead of getting Monsanto fined and getting that Roundup chemical out of our food supply so we're not sick, and making Monsanto pay and making more regulations on them so they don't have these additives in our food that make us fat. Things like sugar, gluten, MSG are harming us. We're not preventative. We wait until we get sick, and then we wait till our doctor says, take this pill. Big Pharma owns you, Dr. Z. You are owned by Big Pharma, especially psychiatrists. I've even been told, I can't see you unless I give you a medicine, because they have to write a script. If they don't write a script for, like, say 80% of their patients, they're out of a job, because doctors go to school for pharmacology. That's what they use. They're not taught diet. They're not taught about health. They're taught about sickness and how to fix it with a pill. That's what they do. And now we're told, oh, if you're asymptomatic, go get tested. What kind of bullshit, fucked up thing is that? So the damn mask never goes away, since we are just making, just in case we have symptoms. I already mentioned all this. We do not use preventative care. We are demonizing those that do not wear a mask. And Dr. Z actually talked about this in one of his videos. We are demonizing those that do not wear a mask. And I'm one of them. Back in September, I didn't wear a mask anywhere. But it got real old, real quick. Where's your mask? Where's your fucking mask? I want to get a bat and hit him upside the head, because I'm immune and I have a period of immunity. And I live alone. Where's your fucking mask? I want to say, where's your fucking face? Where's your fucking smile? Show it to me, asshole. That's the way I feel. Let me go back. We are demonizing those that do not wear a mask, and I'm one of them. I used to wear a mask. I did. When I was working as a contractor for Amazon, I was never a janitorial staff. I'm an admin. I'm data entry, receptionist. I know Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word. That's what I do. I've never worked as a janitorial staff. I have skills. But because of COVID, Amazon got scared, and the CEO got scared because there was an outbreak at this Amazon, and I guess it happened right when I got hired. It literally happened when I got hired. It was really crazy, but I think I was interviewed like the 16th or 17th of March or the 15th of March or something like that. And, and I think I wore a mask during an interview. I'm not really sure. I think I did, but I remember not feeling well. It felt like I had a sinus infection, and I needed a root canal. And I know with root canals, because I needed one back in 2007. And I was told back then, you're going to probably feel, some pressure here. And I remember getting the root canal done in 2007, and they said, it's like you had a sinus infection because this is infection and it's going up in the root. And that's what they do when you have a root canal. When you need one, it infects, it goes up into the sinus cavity. So I didn't feel good. And I was told to check to see if it's COVID. And all they did was, all the doctor did was ask me my symptoms. And they said, oh, that's a sinus infection. Just go home for 3 days sleep. And it was better. And I started the 20th of March. And we had to wear a mask there. Even if you're a outside vendor with Amazon, you had to wear a mask there. And I used to wear a mask 8 hours a day. We only could change it every 3 hours or so. We could change it. That was it. So here I was breathing in my own exhale. The mask was getting dirty and everything. And, it was gross. And we could only change the thing every 3 hours. It was disgusting. And luckily I lost that job in late April. And then by May, I didn't have to wear it 8 hours a day. And then by like July, I got the plastic shields and I just started wearing them in July. And I mean, unless I had a job, like the one job I had, they took my temperature and everything like that. And they wanted me to wear a surgical mask, and I wore that during that time, going in the building with my plastic shield, and then took the surgical mask off and just wore the shield, but primarily my mask wearing was back in March and April. That's primarily when it was, because I switched to the plastic shield by July. And I'm crucified. If I say I don't wear a mask, the Democrats crucify me because they value care versus harm so much that they believe I'm sick when I'm not, and they don't know shit about me. They don't know shit about me. But they value care versus harm, so they assume I'm COVID-19 positive. Well, prove it to me, Democrats. You can't. You can't prove it to me, but I can prove to you through a test that I have antibodies. And I can go out tomorrow and get COVID-19 tested, and it could probably come back negative. I mean, I already had 2 that came back negative. August 4th, it came back negative, COVID-19 negative. And then another one came back May 4th, COVID-19 negative. How many PCR tests do I need to prove to these damn Democrats that I'm COVID-19 negative? Do I need to get one every day? Is that what I need to do? So let me finish reading. If I say I believe in antibody tests, now I'm an outliner. Now I'm one of those on the outskirts if I say I believe in antibody tests. And I'm yelled at, I just said this about the care versus harm. Because that's the Democrats, that's their matrix, their moral matrix bubble. So I went out of my way to pay for an antibody test, $70 in August. And that said I had IgG antibodies. And now we have another test that still says I have IgG antibodies. Now, when did I get it? I don't know. I know I felt like shit in March because I had a sinus infection. Was it COVID or was it the root canal that I needed? Because I remember getting tested. I had to pay $93 for a root canal test. And it was $93 just to get tested. And they did some x-ray stuff and all this and everything. And they were like, yeah, that's a root canal. And it was hurting since December 2019. But I had waited until March as I was looking for a place where my insurance would cover that test. And apparently there was no endodontist that would take my insurance for that. So I had to pay out of pocket for that. And I waited until July to take care of that. And guess what happened in July? More sinus pressure. And the endodontist said, yes, you need a root canal. You're going to have sinus pressure. It's going to build up and it's going to hurt. Once I got the root canal, all that went away. So when did I get COVID? I don't know. Did I get it twice? Is that what I got? It happened in March and then it happened again in July. I don't know. But I have 2 tests that say I have antibodies. So am I supposed to not believe them because there's people yelling at me on Facebook saying, oh, no, they don't work. You can't trust antibody tests. There's no science yet, even though it's FDA approved. So I'm not supposed to believe that. I'm supposed to believe you and your mask. I'm supposed to believe you. Is that what I'm supposed to do? The Democrats. I'm not talking about this doctor. I'm talking about Democrats in general. Yeah. So it says here. So if there's no proof or evidence that antibody test works, then why is it that the test is now FDA approved at Ralph's? Am I not to believe that the 2 antibody tests that I got? Am I just to believe the government like the Democrats just believe the government? And am I to believe that I have SARS-CoV-2? Am I to believe that I'm spreading it all over the place like Democrats want me to believe? Is that what I'm supposed to do? I've been told by people that don't even know me, they don't even know that I live alone. They don't even know anything about me. They don't know how often I'm invited to parties or anything like that. And they say I'm a super spreader. These people are fucking idiots. They don't know shit about me. And I say, how dare they assume that they know me? And they don't. Dr. Z, you said in one of your videos, stop demonizing those that do not wear masks. I wish more people would say that. I really wish more people like you would say, stop demonizing those that do not wear masks, because when you oppress one group and you tell them, you oppress them and you tell them, wear a mask, what is the other group going to do? They're going to push back and say, no, you're not going to force me. That's the same thing with the anti-vaxxers, where I'm leaning toward an anti-vaxxer. I do lean toward that way. You're not going to tell me to get a vaccine when I believe those chemicals and those toxins are very toxic. If you can make a vaccine, Pfizer and all the other, was it Moderna? I can't, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, there's some others, AstraZeneca. If you can make a vaccine with no sucralose, no fructose, no sugar, no MSG, no aluminum, and no mercury, then I'll take it. You cannot have that crap in it. I already have aluminum in my fillings. Okay. I don't need MSG. It will make me basically go in a coma, and I won't be able to think straight. I'll get brain fog. I'll feel like shit. I'll get tired. I don't need the MSG. I cleaned up my diet in 2018 and I lost 80 pounds. I don't go to fast food. Once in a while, I'll eat boo-boo. I went out to a party yesterday, a birthday party, and guess what I ate? Pigs in a blanket. When do I eat pigs in a blanket? Never. I don't make that crap. But if I'm invited to a party 2 times a year, yeah, I'm going to eat some birthday cake. But I don't eat that shit every day. I know how important my diet is because the onus is on me. Why? Because if I eat like shit, then I'm a burden to society. Why would I want to eat like shit? Why would I want to consume the sugar? I already have videos on my Facebook page that many videos, they're made public for people to listen to about sugar and the importance of diet. They're on there. Believe me, it's on there. So why is it that I can't choose to put what I want in my body that's going to make me healthy? When I believe that aluminum and MSG and the sugar in and the mercury and the formaldehyde, and there's other toxins too, it's going to harm me. That's where the sanctity versus degradation comes in. If they can make something without all those things in it, I will take it. But I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can. I have no idea. What happens if you take the aluminum out? What happens if you take the mercury out? What happens if you take the sugar out? What does the sugar do? Bind it? Use something else. Use something else, not sugar. I don't want to spike the insulin. I don't want to do that. A lot of people don't know about insulin resistance. I don't want the sugar. I spent most of 2018 eliminating the sugar from my diet, and that's how I was able to lose 50, 60 pounds in 6 months. That's how I was able to go from a size 16 to a size 8 in 6 months, because I eliminated the sugar. I eliminated the high fructose corn syrup from my diet. So am I to believe that I have SARS-CoV-2 and I'm spreading it all over to everyone every single day until I die? Am I to believe that, Dr. Z, that I'm spreading all this COVID-19 all over the place until I die or until I get vaccinated? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Because I guarantee you, Democrats believe that. They believe they are infected every single day. By them wearing a mask, they believe they're spreading a virus to other people and they could be immune. And they don't even care. They don't even care that they could be immune because they believe their government. You said in one of your videos, 80% of the people need to wear a mask. Well, guess what? If 80% of the people need to wear a mask, then why can't this go forward to CEOs? Why can't CEOs do that to where they say 80% of their customers need to wear a mask? Why can't I be left alone? Why do I have to? I think I moved it. Hold on. I want to see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this. Not here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Why do I have to do this? This is such bullshit to make the CEO and to make the cash register feel happy and good that I'm protecting them of something that I don't have. Why do I have to do this? I'm wearing it like a sun visor. Why do I have to do this at the checkout stand and wear this when I come into Stater Brothers to make the person there, whoever it is, make them feel safe? I take this off and I'm left alone. And I go back into the checkout stand and I put it on like this and I'm left alone. But you see what's happening? I can breathe. I can breathe just fine. But I'm left alone. And that's what I want. I want people to leave me alone. Just because you have 10 people in your household and just because you had 2 people come home with COVID and you infected your whole entire family does not mean it's going to happen to me. I am what you call, I guess you could say, I'm rare. I'm a rare breed. There are people out there that do not have children. There are people out there that do not have brothers and sisters. There are people out there that do live alone. There are people out there that really don't have a lot of friends. There are people out there that do have friends, but they live so far away, they can't come visit you. I have a friend in North Carolina. She can't come visit me like every weekend. I mean, I might be able to fly out to see her once a year. She might be able to fly out to see me. She hasn't, but she could if she had enough money to fly out to see me, or I could drive over to North Carolina to see her. That's not like every weekend. It's not like once a month. There are people out there that live alone, that don't have family. Guess what? People die. Where's your mom? She's dead. Where's your dad? He lives in Abilene, Texas, and he has bed bugs. And I can't live with him because he's a what do you call it? A hoarder. I can't live with my father. If I had a place of my own and I had my father come in, he would trash the place. He would trash it. It would be insane. I would be cleaning up after me and his mess. So I can't have that. Why would I want my own place to have bed bugs? Why would I want that? So, my stepdad's dead, no brothers and sisters, and these people act like they know me. Excuse the F me because you have 10 people in your family and because you had COVID and your whatever had COVID and you spread it to the family, you think that I'm doing that too. You think I'm doing the same thing. I'm not done yet. I said it would be a 30-minute video and I'm already at 46 minutes. Okay, so I'm crucified on Facebook by some people, especially if it's like a NBC page on Facebook and I comment, I don't wear a mask, and then people say, oh, blah, 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 blah. They say, fuck you, whatever they say to me, go to hell, I hope you get COVID, blah, 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 blah. And they don't know my story. They don't know if I just say I don't wear a mask, and they get pissed off at me. And this whole back and forth happens, blah, 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 and everything. And then I say, well, I'm immune. And then I didn't explain, I believe I'm immune for a certain period of time. My doctor said I'm immune. The viruses change, they mutate. Yes, I do know that. But these people are making out like I don't know. We know that the flu virus mutates once a year. That's why the doctors keep on saying you got to keep on getting vaccinated every year. But I heard of a report before COVID that said if you get a vaccine, a flu vaccine, I read a report that said you get a flu vaccine 2 times. That's all it takes. You get a vaccine for 2 times, and that sucker lasts 20 years. 20 years. Holy shit balls. I think my last flu vaccine, I'm not sure, but I think it was like late 2018. That's when it was. My last vaccine was, I think, like October or November of 2018. That's when it was. The last one before that, I don't know, maybe 2015, maybe 2013. Maybe I can look it up and ask them, can you tell me when my last 2 vaccines were? Maybe one was 2016 and the next one was 2018. I'm not sure. I don't know. So, these people are assuming that I'm saying, when I say I'm immune, they think I'm saying I'm immune forever, which I know is not true. I know it's not true. So I'm just crucified, and I just wish it would stop. I just wish that the crucifying these people that don't wear masks, I really wish it would stop. I don't know why it says, why am I demonized for stating that I don't wear a mask? Why do I need to wear a mask if I'm immune? To make Democrats feel safe? Bull. That is assuming that we are all COVID-19 positive every single day until we die, until we get vaccinated. I already said that I'm leaning toward an anti-vaxxer. I'm pro-choice. So this is where people are going to attack me more. because as a lesbian, it's my body, my choice. And I'm not pro-abortion. This is where Republicans are going to attack me because I'm not pro-abortion. They think that because you're pro-choice, you're pro-abortion. And believe me, I understand this because I used to be pro-life. I used to be on the religious right. And I did not understand that pro-life, and there's a problem with the pro-life and the pro-choice. The pro-lifers really believe that those that are pro-choice are pro-abortion, and it's not true. It's not true. Once I understood in 2004, 2005, because I was on AOL and I used AOL chat rooms, once I understood that these women that were pro-choice, a lot of them, they never had an abortion, and a lot of them, they never even had children because they were celibate. They just didn't have sex. They were like good Christian women, and they just didn't have sex before marriage, but they were pro-choice. Why? They weren't busybodies. And the Bible even says not to be a busybody. Mind your own business. Don't go to the neighbor next to you and be a busybody. Don't do that. That's what the Pharisees did. They were busybodies, and we have self-righteous bigots. We do. And now we have more of them. So, yeah, the religious right is going to attack me because I'm a lesbian and because I'm pro-choice, and I'm not pro-abortion. I think that this discussion has to come from a woman. And if she has a husband, okay. If she has a wife, okay. What if she was raped? Okay. Whatever the situation is, woman with her husband, woman with her wife, woman with her mother, woman with her father, discussing, hey, Dad, I was raped. What should I do? The dad says, I don't know, what do you want? Let's have a discussion. Woman has a mother, and this woman says, hey, Mom, I was raped. What should I do? I think I'm pregnant. I was raped. I think I need to go to counseling. This discussion needs to happen within the family. And it needs to happen with their doctor. Okay? This is a highly sensitive topic. And religious right wants to say all abortions are wrong. They don't think of the woman that's raped. They don't think of that. They think, well, she should have shut her legs. I know this because I was a part of them, and I used to say stuff like that. Mean, cruel things, saying to a woman she doesn't know how to keep her legs shut, and she's a slut, and now she got pregnant because she didn't keep her legs shut, instead of saying the man did something. It's always the woman's fault, right? That's what the religious right does. They say it's the woman's fault. Bullshit. So because of that, now I'm going to be crucified from the Republicans. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. So this is where my body, my choice comes in. My body, my choice. You're not going to make me get a vaccine if I think it's unsafe. If Pfizer and Moderna and all these others could come out with a vaccine with all that crap in it, I'll take it. If I can be shown informed consent, a list of all the ingredients, and I can say, well, there's no gluten in it, there's no sugar in it, there's no aluminum in it, there's no mercury in it, okay, there's no MSG in it, okay, none of that crap. And then I look up everything to see all the toxins and everything like that, and I say, wow, this is really not made up of anything that's going to harm me. I'll take it. But I have something better. I have ginger, I have water, I have lemons, ginger, and garlic, and I boil it, and I make that, and it helps my immunity. So just give me a shot of ginger, give me a shot of garlic, do that. Give me a shot of cinnamon, do that. But all your bullshit stuff, no. You're not going to force me to do that. And I'm hoping that it's still around 60, 70, 80%. If we can get 60, 70, 80% of the people to do the whole vaccine thing, great, because I'm not going to be one of them until I'm shown evidence that there is not these ingredients in the vaccines. Then I will get one. But when will that happen? I don't know. We have to take down Monsanto. You have to take down the big wigs, and they all have the hand in the pocket of big pharma. They all want big pharma to get bigger. They all want big pharma to keep on pushing the pills, and big pharma is in business to keep people sick. They want people to be sick. If enough people go around saying, well, I think I'm sick, then you will be. Listen to Bob Proctor. I'm serious. The Science of Getting Rich. Listen to him. Maybe you need to read Ernest Holmes. Okay, the universe only says yes. So if you go around thinking, I think I might be sick. I think I might be sick. I think I might be sick. I think I might be poor. I think I might be poor. The universe only says yes. And if you don't like the word universe, you can use the word God, Jesus, whatever. I don't care what you call it. The purple guy in the sky, the black cow under your feet. I don't care what you call it. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. And if you get enough people to fear and saying, yeah, I guess I'm sick, we're going to lower our vibration down, and you're going to have enough people that actually become sick. It happens. If you have enough people to say, I'm not sick, I'm healthy, I'm a great individual, I'm a healthy American, that's what I like about Peggy Hall, the healthy American. If you say you're healthy and you claim it, you're going to be healthy. You're going to be healthy. But we have enough people now, I can see it's obvious. We have enough people now where I live, they believe they're sick because they wear a mask. And they believe other people are sick because they don't want what they have. They're on both sides. First, it was this mask doesn't protect you. First, it was this mask doesn't protect me. It protects you. It protects the other people. And then it switched. And now it's like, oh, it protects us. The CDC can't really, it's changes decisions constantly. That's what the CDC changes decisions constantly. That's what they do. They can't make up their damn fucking mind. It's fucking bullshit. It really is. So why do I need to wear a mask if I'm immune? To make Democrats feel safe? That's assuming we're all COVID-19 positive every single day until when? It's a good question. Until when? When do the masks in? Because we all go back to work and we all wear a mask. That's not normal. This is not fucking China. China was wearing a mask for a long time because their air pollution is bad. That's why they wear a mask. They've been doing it for years. They're used to the masks. And they didn't wear masks because of COVID. No. Their air pollution is horrible. That's why they're used to wearing masks. They've been doing it for 10 years or so. But we're not China. This is America. Let's see. Why do they need to ask if I'm have a mask? Oh yeah, busybodies. The people at the stores are busybodies. Where's your mask? I say, where's your smile? Where's your face? Where's your brain? That's what I say. I really want to say that to people. Why do they need to ask if I'm immune, if I have IgG antibodies? If I show them my test that I have immunity, if I show them that, if I show a CEO this, and if I show that I have antibodies, and if I show that I have COVID-19 negative, right? If I go get a test on November 1st, which I can't, there's a lead, I have to go in online and, maybe they're booked on November 1st. So I have to wait until November 4th because they're booked up, right? So I have to wait until November 4th to get a CVR test, whatever they're called, not an antibody test, a COVID test to see if I have COVID. So if I go on the 4th of November and then the results return on the 7th and I go to the store on the 7th, so what? Mr. Bagger, Mr. Checker, Mr. What do you call it? Cashier, Mr. Door Police. They're not gonna fucking care if I show them I got a COVID test and it's negative. I'm not gonna wear a mask. They don't fucking care. They don't care about you being COVID-19 positive. All they fucking care about, these CEOs, all they care about is not getting sued. They don't want Sandra Gregston coming into their store not wearing a mask, even if I'm COVID-19 negative, and then some 19-year-old kid with a 2-year-old assuming that I have COVID, and then her kid goes out and gets a COVID test and it comes back positive, and then that woman comes back to the CEO, says, hey, that girl was 6 feet from me and she got my baby with COVID. That's what CEOs are afraid of. They follow the damn money. It's not about health. It's about fucking being sued and money. That's all it's about, is fucking, I don't want to be sued. I don't want somebody to say to me, this customer came in, no mask, and they got my child sick with COVID. They got my grandma sick with COVID. And what I say to these fucking CEOs is, fuck you, fuck your mother. That's what I say. Fuck you and fuck your mother, because all you care about is money. You don't care about the health of people. You don't fucking care. You don't know me. Shit. So yeah, those places where they're mask Nazis, like Stater Brothers, I go in with the sun visor on my face and I'm left alone. Nobody says shit to me. I'm left alone. Now, I know this is going to come up because, there are self-righteous people out there that they're wearing masks and they crucify me. You're not wearing a mask. You're a super spreader. You don't fucking know that. So shut the fuck up. These are self-righteous mask wearers. They're so self-righteous. They're like their religious right. I didn't know Democrats can become self-righteous bigots, but a lot of them are. And I think of some of these people that wear masks, they like to push buttons to see where they can push buttons and say, I pushed your button. So the question comes, what do I do when my IgG antibodies wear out? What do I do? What I'll probably do is wear the shield everywhere I go, right? Everywhere I go where I know there are going to be people that are asking me about a mask. So if I'm hiking alone, I'm not going to wear a mask or a plastic shield. Okay. If I'm around my friends, I'm not going to wear a plastic shield around my friends. I'm not. And I know the people that I know, they accept me for that as well. You can't pick and choose to say, if you're friends with someone, oh, I like that about you, but I don't like about that. When you accept someone, you accept all of their, right? You accept all of their, believe me, there's a lot of stuff in people that I wish I can take out and say, I don't like that about you. But when you decide to become friends, you accept all of them. You accept all of them. And you don't try to change and say, well, I don't like this because of this, and I don't like you and doing this. No, you accept them. And my friends accept me. They accept it. I know I'm going to be crucified. I already know. I'm laughing because I'm going to be crucified. So when the time comes, probably in January, I'm thinking February, my immunity will probably be, my antibodies will probably go away. Unless I'm naturally reinfected all the time, which I'd rather have. It looks like I was naturally infected already. When did I get it? I don't know. Maybe I got it back when I was working at Amazon, back in March when I was working for KBS. There were times where we couldn't socially distance. We just couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. Now, I'm not saying the whole shift we were working together, like close, close, close. I'm just saying at certain instances. What about before March 15th? What if I got it before I worked in another warehouse? I was doing warehouse work. I was a janitor for this other warehouse in Paris, and they was a food warehouse, and they had a big audit going on a Monday, and I worked Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then I stopped because I hurt my toe on the steel toe boot, and I had to go to the doctor for workman's comp. So I only worked those 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The job went Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I didn't do Saturday and Sunday. And then by Monday, the job was over because that's when the auditor was coming to check the warehouse to see if all the food was up because, you got rats and stuff like that. You got to audit for food and stuff like that. You got to make sure that there's no food on the, floor of the warehouse and stuff like that. You got to make sure it's clean. You got to do that all like a big sweep, like 2 times a year. You don't want rats in your food supply. You don't want that. So, were we wearing masks back then? And I'm talking about March 10th. No, we weren't. We were not. Were we physically distancing in that warehouse when I was sweeping all the marshmallows and I was scraping the ketchup off the floor and everything because the ketchup and the barbecue sauce went on the floor and it was like melted on. It was gross. And I had a special scraper and all that. Were we physically distancing from each other? And this was March 10th. No, we were not. So maybe that's where I got it from. And maybe that sinus infection I had was COVID. And maybe that's when I had it. I don't know. But apparently, if I trust the antibody tests, guess what? If I trust that, then it means I already had COVID. And that's what I was told by my primary care doctor. I was told, yes, you already had COVID. I was told that by the doctor that took my test at the clinic in Temecula. There was a doctor that reviewed my IgG antibody test in Temecula on August 4th. And then the pharmacist, they all 3 said, you definitely had COVID. You just didn't know you had it because you had no symptoms. But maybe that really bad sinus infection that I had in March was COVID. Maybe that's what it was. And for 3 days, I felt like crap. Did I have a high fever? No. But if I'm 98.6, I feel like crap because 97.2 or 97.3 is my normal. If I'm 98.6, I'm not feeling well. If I'm 98.6, I'm probably going to call into my work and say, I can't come into work today. I have a fever. Now, what does fever mean? Fever means different things to other people. They may think, oh my God, you have 101.6 or you have 102.3. No. If I'm 98.6, I don't feel good. I feel like crap. I can go to work, but I'm not going to be able to think well. I'm going to be very tired to the point where I need to sleep. And I'm talking about don't wake up at 8 o'clock. Don't wake up at 7 o'clock. Like sleep until noon and just drink some chicken broth and go back and lay down around 1 and sleep all day. And then wake up and have more chicken broth at 7 o'clock at night and then sleep it off and sleep from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then maybe the next day I'll feel a little bit better. And that's how my body is. My normal is not 98.6. It's too high. And maybe that's when I got it. But I'm told by people, they're saying, I hope you get COVID. That's what they say. You're not a mask wearer. I hope you get COVID. Why are they so mean? Why are they so cruel in saying this kind of stuff? To where I hope you get COVID. Because they lost someone to COVID? And because they lost someone to COVID, they now wish I get it? And they wish bad on me because I don't wear a mask and they don't even know my story. This is crazy talk. I wish more people were like this doctor. He has some good points. And all we're doing is just attacking each other because social media is designed to do that. I'm using social media right now. This is YouTube. And I don't even like Facebook anymore because you know what it does? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. This is what Facebook does, which I hate. They do this thing. You go on your phone. You can go on your phone, right? I got my phone here. Let me see if I can demonstrate it right now. And you all know that use Facebook. This is the coronavirus update and live Q&A. That is the video that I am responding to. Coronavirus update live Q&A. And I know it's backwards, but that's what it looks like. Coronavirus update and live Q&A. He did this video today. It already has 7,000 views, and he did it today. And there's 465 likes. So, let me see if I can go back onto Facebook. This is what I don't like. Here we go. We got that notification bell right there. It says 2, right? Click on that. We got thumbs up. You know what I do? I delete them. I don't care that I get a thumbs up. I can give a rat's ass about a thumbs up. But there are people out there that love them. They love them because it shows that people like their whatever they're saying, whether they're sharing, right? So I just delete. I just click on the little 3 dots and remove notification. Click on the little 3 dots. I got a lot of them. I had thumbs up. I got a lot of thumbs up. And I just remove them. Remove this notification. Because I don't care. This is what, I'm gonna have hiccups. This is what I like. You see that green one? That's a comment. That little green bubble, that's a comment. That's what I want to see. I want to see people's comments. And those green bubbles is what keeps me going on Facebook. There's another one. Here's another green bubble. It keeps me going. I click on them because I want to see what people said. I don't care about likes and hearts. I can give a rat's ass about likes and hearts. I want to see people what they say. And this is the problem with social media, which this doctor has said it's polarizing. It's designed to get people in these echo chambers. And I'm going to have to look up echo chambers and see what they're all about and everything, which I have my own biases. I have my own confirmation biases. I already have them. I guarantee you I have them. And because of this liberty versus oppression is so high on my moral compass now, it's way higher now. It's probably the second one. I'm probably going to be in the months to come, as this COVID fatigue wears on, the mask fatigue wears on, I'm probably going to be wearing the shield less and less and less, even if I do not have IgG antibodies. I mean, unless I get reinfected with it again, right? Let's say I get reinfected with it and I don't have any symptoms. And let's say I test for antibodies in January and they say, I'm sorry, Sandra, you do not have any IgG antibodies. You're not immune. What do I do at that point? I'll probably wear a shield and not a mask. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably wear the plastic shield. I'm going to get the kind that go around right here. because with this plastic shield, I have to look through the plastic through my glasses, and I can't see. I can't see. So I'm probably going to get the shield guards that just go around right here. That way I can protect this with a plastic cover, and it's fine. And I've seen other people use it in Costco, particularly older women wear those where it's just a plastic shield right here, and it wraps around the ears. And, people leave them alone. They don't say anything. They don't say anything. Just, that's what CEOs want. They just want something in front of your nose and mouth because they believe everybody is COVID-19 positive every single day until we die or until everybody is vaccinated, which is bullshit. Like I said, it's not about your health. It's about money. That's what it is. It's about money. And people care, especially CEOs, they care more about their business and more about money than somebody's health. They don't fucking care about your health. They don't care. They don't care. So I can see myself wearing a plastic shield probably 4 months into, if I do not have antibodies at all, I can see myself wearing a shield for 4 months. By May, June, probably going to start pulling it off, saying this is bullshit. And I will fall right back into the bias, the confirmation. I will fall right back into my anti-maskers, where most of them say, my body, my choice. You're not going to make me wear a mask, because they primarily don't even do antibody. They think an antibody test is waste of their money. They think it's a waste. They don't claim like I do. They don't have the argument of, why do I need to wear a mask if I'm immune? No, their argument is, why do I need to wear a mask when this is a hoax? That's what they say. This is a hoax. Why do I need to wear a mask when 94% of those that are 70 and older survive? 94% of those that are 70 and older survive COVID-19. It's more like 97% or 98% of people survive COVID that get it if they're 60 and younger. 60 and younger, 97 and 98% get it, survive it. That's where they're coming from. So why do we need to wear a mask if so few people are dying? And this doctor, this Z-Dog that I call him, he's already said cases are going way up. Deaths are going way down. The more we spread this out, where millions and millions and millions, and I'm not talking about 8 million Californians testing positive, or was it 8 million? Are we at 9 million? We had 9 million Americans testing positive now. I'm talking about 150 million Americans, 200 million Americans testing positive. If we can test that many, if we had that many going out that were asymptomatic and didn't have any symptoms, which you're not going to find them. I guarantee you're probably not going to find people that are going to go out and get tested if they have no symptoms. They're going to say, why? That's a waste of my time. I guarantee you. I've read the comments of people on Facebook. That's what they say. No, we're not going to get tested because we don't have any symptoms. That's stupid. That's what people do. So, the more and more this spreads out of 100 million, 200 million people getting COVID, testing positive, and we have less and less and less and less people dying, the more people are going to say this mask is fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. And then what I think is going to happen is sometime in 2021, this thing is going to mutate. This thing is going to mutate, and then people like me are going to get reinfected with it. It's going to mutate. It's probably going to hit me the same because I eat right. Okay, I don't do the sugar and the bread and the gluten. I don't do that crap. I don't do the fast food. I know what is good for my body. If I eat carbs, they're green. I don't, most people, kale, spinach. Oh, yeah, that's micronutrients that your body needs to fight off infection. But people want the bread and the sugar, and they want the gluten, and they want the dairy. And that's all highly inflammatory in the body. But that's what they want because it tastes good. And these companies make it taste good, so you're addicted to more of it. And I know what works for me. I'm not going to eat that crap. I'm just not going to eat it. So it's probably going to mutate. I bet you it's going to mutate in March or April or maybe February. And I'm probably going to get COVID, and it's going to be a COVID-20 this time. Once March 2021 comes, it's probably going to be a COVID-20, not COVID-19, because it mutated, and we're going to do all this shit again. And you're going to have all these people say, nope, I went through 2020. I'm throwing my mask away. This is bullshit. You're not doing this again for another year. And then people are going to come forward, but it's mutated. We need to protect you. It mutated. And you're going to have people say, nope, I ain't doing this again. I'm not doing this shit again. And people like me are going to get reinfected with something new, and they're not going to have any symptoms, and they're going to get over it, and the world's going to be fine. I'm serious. The world is going to be fine. And people are going to say, but you don't care about the elderly. Yeah, do. Take it upon yourself. If you're elderly, wear a mask. It is not my responsibility to baby your ass. It's not. If I was 70 and I had a lot of pre-existing conditions, you know what I would do? I would wear a mask. That's what I would do. I would not go to that person over there telling them to wear a mask. It's not their job to protect me. It's my job to eat right. It's my job to be healthy. So I'm not a burden on society. That is my job. So you people who say, you don't care, you're infecting everyone. Prove it. Prove that I'm infecting everyone. Prove that I'm a super spreader. You Democrats, you can't. You can't. This is going to happen again. It's going to mutate, and Fauci and people like them are going to suck their cock because it feels good, and they're going to spew their shit saying it mutated. We have to wear masks. It's going to mutate every year. We're going to have a COVID-20. We're going to have a COVID-21, a COVID-22, a COVID-23. So whatever year it is, just take off one number. So in 2021, we're going to have a COVID-20. In 2025, we're going to have a COVID-24. It's not going to go away. That's what I think is going to happen. We're going to go through this, and we're never going to get rid of the masks. We're never going to get rid of the masks. And people say, open up, open up, open up, open up. If we don't get rid of the masks, we're never going to get back to normal. And I think that's horrible to say, open up, open up, open up, open up. But we need to physically distance. We can't hug anymore. Oh, no. Smiling is gone. We have to. Sorry, if you wear a mask, you're a villain. I'm not going to trust you. Who wears the masks in movies? Villains do. So now everybody's a villain because the government doesn't want you to trust other people. The government wants you to trust them. And I do not trust the government. I don't. Where does that fall in this? Authority versus subvision? Is that loyalty versus betrayal? I don't know where to that. I don't trust everything the government says. I'm sorry. I don't trust everything that the government says. And I'm going to be crucified on both sides of the camp. This is where loyalty versus betrayal comes in. I'm going to be crucified on both versus the camp because it looks like I'm a Trump supporter because I don't like masks, and I'm not a Trump supporter. And it looks like I'm a Republican because I don't like masks. It looks like I'm Republican, but I lean a little bit more to the Democrats on certain issues. And I'm guarantee you, I am crucified on both sides because I betray one side with one issue and I betray the other side with the other issue. And I think that's horrible. I think it's horrible that I just can't be me. I have to be, if I'm a anti-masker, I'm like a Republican. But I'm gay and I'm pro-choice. Now I'm crucified. I think it's horrible. Absolutely atrocious with this loyalty versus betrayal thing. And we can't be independent. Because social media, what has social media done to us? It's horrible. Thank you, this Dr. Z. I don't know what your name is, but there needs to be more people like you. There needs to be more people like you out there like that. And I wish more people were open to discussion without attacking people. And believe me, I do it too. I want to really strangle people to say, where's your mask? And what I want to say is, where's your bed? Because you need to go back to bed. You're scared? Go back to bed. The CEOs need to go back to bed too. I'm so sick of the CEOs. Take your fucking money and shove it up your asshole. That's what I want to say to them. I'm sick of it. I'm angry. So I go to Costco because I know I'm going to be left alone. And I wear a sun visor over my head because I know I'll be left alone. Nobody's going to say shit to me if I wear that mask, that plastic shield like a sun visor. I'll be left alone. And that's all I really want. Leave me the fuck alone. You don't know me. You don't fucking know me until you spend time with me. And if you're going to spend time with me, I don't want you wearing a mask. I don't want you wearing a mask. But aren't you afraid of me? No, I'm not. But you're afraid of me. I guarantee you, you are afraid of me. You are.